Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Play Slay the Spire again. I'm a very happy man to be on Ascension 16. Runs have been up and down lately, but 16, it feels like we can win. Ascension 18 is like, I don't know, we're gonna need a miraculous. We need an early Reaper and an early Demon form. And I've heard other people that are great at Slay the Spire complain about the grind of high-level Ascension. I'm obviously not a great Slay the Spire player, and I'll never suggest that I am, but you only gotta get lucky once, you know, to get all the way up there. Once we get up to Ascension level 20, what am I gonna do? Oh man, I don't know. If I beat Ascension 20 in 6 years, maybe we'll enjoy having the opportunity to go back to Ascension 0 and see how that works. But for now, give me a rare card for 99 gold. I'll level with you. I think we go Bias Cognition early. Most enemies will die really quickly to Bias Cognition, Dual Cast, Zap, etc., etc. Buffer, also potentially very strong. We're not getting out of this without fighting an elite. You know, if we wanted, I'm willing to take a risk on this one. This is a high risk, high reward situation. Thank you. What do I mean by that? If we're gonna fight one elite, let's fight 3. Wait a minute. Now that I'm saying that, it sounds highly dumb. What if we take this path? We still have to fight one elite, but then we only have to fight one. Yeah, that seems way smarter, but we'll see how our HP looks when we get going. That fight didn't go too badly, all things considered. I do think an auto shields early is helpful. We don't have to give you something, but I'm gonna. Basically, we want blocks, and we're not necessarily building a focus deck, although I'm happy with the fact that we got Bias Cognition. This is perfect. We wanted auto shields and then Bias Cognition, and I should have struck. In my head, I was like, we're not gonna dual cast, so let's play nothing. Not a good look, Chief. Either way. Can we get you this turn? Dual cast. We'll hit you for 20. Easy money. Static discharge can be really helpful depending on the boss. It could be really helpful on that boss. But I think I'm more of a glacier man, to be honest. And I want to keep our orbs out there because we don't really have a whole heck of a lot of time to capitalize on Bias Cognition. So when we get the chance, we really want to make sure it's out there to make things happen. You're doing 16 damage. Okay. How about this? Throw one of those out there. You're going to take one, and then next turn we're going to body you. It might look like things are not going super well. I'm here to tell you, if you can put up 37 block on like the 4th floor of the, or 4th fight of the game, you're doing okay. So Hologram Glacier, in the heart of America. There's potential, so same with Hologram Zap. But I'm on this new kick that says Hologram is a little bit overrated. Dude, if I could maybe get a boot sequence. I hesitated because I knew how Canadian that made me sound. If we can get a boot sequence, I actually think like all of the damage we've taken would more or less have been handled. It tends to happen on turn 1. I do think we can get down with another ball lightning. I know we're playing a little quick here. And I'm going to be very risky here. Hit me with that extra focus. And then don't die here. That's the game plan. Is this a... No, it's just a normal elite fight. They start with artifact. To be honest, well, we know we're playing Bias next. I'm just going to play a defend. We're not taking very much damage. We're taking 4 damage in the process. Pretty good. So we're going to get that Biased out there without a doubt. And we're taking no damage, which is awesome. So now we just lay into him. Okay, so presumably the rightmost obelisk is going to be dead. The leftmost obelisk should die on this turn. And dude, this is an indicator as to the strength of this. Please, 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 let's go. This is an indicator as to the strength of this deck, because we have not taken much damage on this fight at all. Now, we're about to run out of focus. We're 2 focus above default. Honestly, probably the right time to take advantage of that. Taking another 4 damage. Nothing to sneeze at, but not that big of a deal. And you're dead. We actually came out of that looking real good. Stone Calendar. If we use it appropriately, we'll be pretty happy. I actually kind of like the idea of a second auto shields. But I'm going to go Capacitor. The whole thing with Capacitor is that if we don't get a Consume, a Capacitor is going to seem a little weak early. And we're upgrading. It might seem like I'm going too fast, and maybe I am. But we're upgrading the cards that you upgrade when you want a focus build to work. Is pretty much where I see this going. We have 21 block. We're getting hit for 25. Basically, that's relatively okay. You gotta go. And then I think we play this. Really? I'm a little surprised. We didn't take damage there, but still. I don't really want to evoke this orb. Because, you know, we only get a limited amount of time with it thanks to bias cognition. It should go without saying, by the way. We're obviously, like, waiting for a core surge or something like that. I know we've built very similar decks in the past. Self-repair is a must-take in my world. Consume? No, consume. I really, really like Flash of Steel. The question right now for me is, like, are we going to rest before the boss fight, assuming we don't take enough damage to die right here, which would just devastate me? 11? I think I'd rather Ball Lightning early. We're taking 2 damage. It's a tough call, because, like, we probably should rest. We don't need an auto shields if we evoke an orb. We probably should rest, but simultaneously in my head I'm like, well, if we rest, sure, we might live, and that's fine. However, wouldn't we rather see if we live regardless? Hold on, this is 21 block. Hopefully 2 of these will hit you and we'll get lucky. Well, quite the opposite, but still. Like, why not put it all in? And if we lose, we can just do another one, is basically what it comes down to. We'll see. We're healing, actually, regardless, so... Beam Cell, Heat Sinks, double energy. We do play powers. I don't think we play enough to justify Heat Sinks. Double energy, we took on a recent run, and to be honest... I don't know if this means it's bad, but we did spend a lot of that time with that card being pretty much dead. Speaking of pretty much dead, this dude is screwed. This is our ideal starting draw. Probably should have stalled for a self-repair. Dude, give me another Glacier. And we're gonna try. I think with all of our orbs, we might be okay here. And if we leave this floor, we'll be feeling good about our deck for sure. We just can't play biased early. We still can't play biased early. I actually think we're best off playing creative AI. I don't say that too often. So I don't want to deal with his first attack, so I definitely feel like putting that poison potion on him and dual casting early was worth a lot. So he is going to flip, which is important here. I'm thinking by the time we get a couple of Echo Forms out there, we're probably going to be okay. I don't really want to play a turbo. The problem is if we don't play a turbo, we're just going to get more turbos. Or it's just going to keep rattling around, I guess I should say. So, I mean, Glacier definitely does not take us to 16 block, but weaken this guy's doing 12. We got 8. There you go. Just prefer not to take damage. Pretty soon our deck is going to be like 100% powers, and that's going to suck real bad, but okay, here you go. Now we're cooking. Do we care about a static discharge? Probably. Yeah, I think so. So we're going to take a little damage. We're going to summon a lightning out of that. We could probably, in my world, I think now is the time you can pop a bias cognition and feel pretty good. Yeah, he's toast. We also have another bias to draw, I believe. Well, if it works for you, it works for me. And there's, dude, Stone Calendar just bodied him. Okay. We used powers to make that happen. You got to keep that in mind. We have no ability to play Meteor Strike, so I think Buffer is definitely your call. Hey, no longer able to rest. Or no longer able to get gold. So this is gonna sound wild. I'm gonna transform all strikes into defense. It gives us 8 new cards. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Consume is great, and then recursions are actually fine. I don't know if we have enough block, but I actually feel like that is basically the best possible Pandora's box I ever could have asked for. So thank you. And we get to keep gold. The reason I'm happy to keep the gold now is because we can remove the cards that suck. I actually feel like we're better off getting a Frost Orb out there right away. I gotta learn how to play this deck because it's all sorts of jacked up now. But, I mean, that's gotta go out there, obviously. I feel like you can't not love a Glacier in this context. And we got 26 block. Might as well just hit one more unit and hope that it gets around. So we got 33 block, and there's 30 damage coming out. So I actually think we're safe. This is without the use of a potion, which is pretty impressive, I think. Only 1 unit's attacking this turn. That's fantastic news. It takes as long as it takes to get around here. Really, we're only in danger when 3 of them attack on the same turn, which is literally what's happening right now. But that's okay, because we're going to zap. Cool-headed. Flash of Steel, 1 damage. My word. Don't you feel smart? Well, it's 22 damage. As of right now, if we dual cast this, we gain another 14. We have to do that. 28. Thank God. 33. We're taking 5 damage. Honestly, we deserve it for being so hubristical. Which is definitely not a real word. For suggesting that we would, like, you know, we don't need to play these. Alright, we got out of it regardless, or at least it looks like we're going to get out of it. As of right now, we're also getting out of it, having gained a little bit of HP, but we definitely could have gained more. I'm going to go ahead and say we probably don't need another cool-headed yet. I think we have a genuine focus on removing some trash cards from the deck. I actually would like to add a leap, though. So, what are the trash cards? There aren't any. Okay. Let's add a leap. What we're going to do, in that case... this is how lucky we got. Everything in the deck is great. We're going to focus on upgrades. Now, Buffer gets twice as good. That's really easy justification. Recursion, though, it gets 1,000,000,000 times better. And consume gets better as well. I'm going to start buffer, but we have a lot of potential targets. So, I don't know. I think it definitely, you could say, like... Definitely should not draw last, but you could say, like, hey, this should indicate to you, dummy, I'm the dummy here, that you got to pay more attention to these relics like Pandora's box. But at some extent, or to some extent, I should say, you got to say, like... We got real lucky here, right? To get so many cards that were relevant to our actual interests. Like, I feel like that's kind of... It's a stroke of luck, the likes of which I can't even fathom. All we need to do, and this works just as fine, but just as well, I should say, but we need to evoke 1 orb. I don't think we need another Glacier. I mean, maybe you can never have too many, but I think you can. Boot sequence is really important, and then I really think you consume, zap, leap is probably the easy money. Those consumes are good targets. Don't get it twisted. Cool-headed will be 9 block. We don't have many 0-cost cards. I think we'd rather just get that out there. So we are going to take 13 damage. It's not that bad. I know it seems bad, but with a self-repair still in the rotation, it's nothing to worry about. Thank God for buffer. Have to play self-repair. It's a good one. We have to play self-repair. Non-negotiable. Now, we're not punching through his armor as fast as I'd like. I think we're going to get there. I mean, he's there in 2 turns, if we can at least get his lightning taken care of. Or, sorry, his shields taken care of. He's dead now. It's easy enough. HP standing steady. We really need the HP... No. We really need the HP to stay strong, because we need to do a bunch of upgrades. And I'm telling you, these recursions are insane value once we have high focus. To get them for 0 is amazing, I think. Even though we very rarely have used them in the past. Oh, you like recursion? Name 2 of their albums. Okay, 15 damage right off the bat. Frailty is terrible here, but... Bias Cognition is going to cut through these guys real quick. Good enough. We didn't want to play the Glacier because I really want Lightning Orbs out there. 14 damage. It's not really bad at all. The only thing is we want to hit you. So, I mean, is a buffer... I'm going to play the buffer under the assumption that... it'll save us block in the future to be able to have even just the 1 buffer out there. But we do have to... We got to get some orbs out there, basically. And I still don't think we play dual cast. We do really well, though. Any turn where he's not healing, life is getting better for us. So that's a huge play. And then, we're already not taking damage. Would we rather recursion? Yes. You know why? Puts a lightning orb up at the front. Get more hits out of that. We're still well ahead on focus, but we got to keep it up. Recursion is still great. We're already not taking damage, so let's go. Let's just make sure we're threading them properly. We got a little lucky on that one. We could have performed better. But dude, this deck, you're seeing it. It's getting it done. I know you're seeing it. We consume again. I'm not even running the numbers on consume. Thank you, Stone Calendar. I mean, I had it, but thank you. We're not even running the numbers on consume because we know what we're trying to do. And right now, it actually just does not matter whether we're at the peak or not. It's just whatever takes us to kill faster. Who would have thought a deck with no strikes and defense could both attack and hit, he said, not realizing that he was the butt of the joke. I do think a loop is fine. We're hoping that we don't run into the awakened one, I suppose. To be honest, I think we should fight the elite. And I don't make this decision lightly. This guy's a real pain in the butt. Let's pop our power if we can. Oh my god, it's Echo Form. This guy has to go ASAP. But think of like double bias. Is not what we're gonna get. But double buffer. 4 blocks. I'm just trying to see. Loop is the start of your turn, so we might actually benefit from evoking this. That'll block at least you, and then buffer should still work. I'm telling you, once we got through that big turn, everything's okay. Definitely should have thought about what we were doubling up on, but if it weren't that, if it wasn't that, I probably would have played auto shields first, then that would have whiffed anyway, so it's not necessarily a great excuse, but we really want to avoid the 34 damage if possible. I don't think we can now. At least it's going to get hit by the buffer, but we really need those bias to come through ASAP. I know we just lost one. Did we lose the other one earlier? We might have. Well, we're going to take some hits here. Thank God. Okay, now we can finally do something. Consume. Ooh, the double up there is a little dangerous. Biased. Probably should have doubled up on biased instead. Everyone's like, I know. But now we got some incredible focus out there, and we're only losing 1 focus per turn. So what do you double up on here? Certainly not auto shields. Glacier definitely is tempting. Glacier is probably the play. Now we're safe. And I think you definitely want a loop coming out of there after that. So we are only losing 1 focus per turn, but it's enough to frighten me a little bit. We definitely need more lightning out there, and this is the turn for it. This gives us 10 extra damage, basically, so. And you know what? I think we want to pop this. Heal up. Oh, dude, Stone Calendar, you beauty. Now we're back to full HP, basically. I don't even want to hit you anymore. I mean, I'm gonna. Shuriken. Obviously could be better, but I am going to take a Fission. And you know, we came here to get the upgrade. Even though we use the potions in the process, I'm happy with it. I do think Fission needs to be upgraded the most. It exhausts itself, so I'm happy with that, but this is a strange one. I mean, you definitely would Ball Lightning first. You got good Armor Punch, at least, but you got nothing else going for you. You got Buffer out, you did some damage. I don't know, maybe we shouldn't be beating ourselves up too much, but I mean, we're not really getting away with much here. We're gonna take like 4 damage. 8 damage. Jeez. Well, that's a gimme. It is always nice when the orbs do the work for you, but we need to be able to block as well. This is a huge bias turn, easily. Consume. Consume, sorry, I need to think about. Consume will take us from 21 block to 18 block. But you double up. Does that make any difference? Because it's actually 28 block to 27 block. That's interesting to think about. Because of the gold-plated cables. And actually, maybe even it's better to consume because of the loop now, which I didn't really consider. Anyway, we know we're not taking damage this turn. We might as well hit you for whatever we can. Consume might be the right call in this specific case then, because you basically have more orbs than it looks like you have. Anyway, as you can see, when we get Bias Cognition out there, as long as it comes out not too early, everything's fine. Perhaps even better than fine. 51 passive block. We did end up building pretty much essentially the same deck we've been building for a while, but hey, if it feels good, do it. We don't need a second consume, in my opinion. And the thing with the cool-headed, I don't really want to add more until we can... how do I want to handle this? Probably a boot sequence. We don't need to play recursion, but... I don't want to add more until we upgrade the ones that we have. It just seems like it's not the best value proposition. Well, okay. We'll keep spinning them around, but I really want to get lightning orbs and focus out there. Focus alone is enough because we don't even have to play defense to be in a good spot, but I think we'll start with a fission. Give us a little kickstart here. Then it's hard to argue with buffer. Trust me, by the way, I understand the danger here. We're gonna not be able to block enough. Alright, I think that's how we handle it. We got 30 damage in lightning per turn. A lot of dazes. We really want frost to come around. Yikes. Maximum of 9 damage coming in, but still. That's enough for a self-repair to help us out a great deal, but it's got to show up. Two more damage. Not a big deal. We just really want that self-repair coming around. Not gonna happen. We're only a little down on HP though. 11. Life goes on. Again, we're happy to see these cards, don't get me wrong. And I'm not going to rest. We will smith yet again. Something that improves our focus permanently would be like really ideal. Loop is pretty great as well, but I think getting that focus by default is our #1 concern. Okay. I kind of hate it, but I think we should fission. Well, we should probably recursion first. Then fission. Why do you do me like this? Because biased is so good, but I don't think we can play it on the first friggin' turn. This is 24 damage. It's okay. Don't take consume, please. Buffer. It's also bad to lose, but it's kind of good to get later, so... I'm not as put out by that as you might think I would be. Now, you are doing 8 damage, and I'm not going to get around that this turn, but... Keep in mind, we're basically... If we can just stall until Stone Calendar's ready to go, everything's okay. What did you take, by the way? Glacier. It's a great card. I think we do best with, like, cool-headed. Probably like a Glacier immediately after that, and then a Recursion takes you to 30... No, it takes you to 40 block, which... 16 plus 24, it's exactly 40, so I think we're pretty lucky that that worked out that way. Because we're not taking damage, we'll keep it steady here. I think we're in a pretty survivable location right now. He is gaining much more strength turn to turn. We already have blocks, so auto shields is useless. This is probably a pretty good bias cognition turn. And get this started. Truth be told, I think you want a cold snap here. 71 block means we're taking no damage. Might need to consume to keep our focus up, but we'll see. These guys have lived longer than they're supposed to. Stone Calendar's about to pop, so I'm like... Do we really want... What do you have? Buffer? Feel like I'd rather just beat on this guy right now. I like it. We only use... Thank you. Appreciate it. That buffer's coming around. Alright, so we got good focus. You're doing 32 damage. That's nothing. Actually nothing. We do have to kill you pretty quickly, but I like where this deck's at. Buffer has to be played. I gotta be honest, I'm kind of tempted to get that consume going, but... we're gonna stall a little bit longer. We're at 7 focus. Yeah, I think we can afford to wait. This might be a good auto shields opportunity. Let's see. Honestly, the consumption here, it's kind of got me. That's 36 extra block, which means we're not taking any damage here. And I think we actually stall right here. Because if I put the, if I evoke the orb, we'd probably be fine. But I don't want to put a lightning orb at the front just yet. Now I feel okay about it, but... if he's attacking, we want Frost at the front. This is really good because we have the 2 buffers as well. So we'll just get a Frost going. So far, so good. We're not going to block all the damage, so we might as well just put a, you know, maximum damage out there. And we made it, basically. We're totally set. He's dead. Alright, this could work. Reboot, Meteor Strike, Machine Learning. I think we'll take a reboot, because we saw that time a dead draw can really cause problems. Dude, I don't think we can afford to not Smith, so I think we have to go Lizard Tail. It kills me inside. Like, I want Loop, I want Cool-Headed, I want a Recursion. That's bare minimum. We have a couple of Cool-Headeds, too. So I'm going to go Lizard Tail. Snecko Eye is possible. We have a few 2-cost cards. I've made some decisions on this run that... I don't want to say they're going to be unpopular, because I don't actually believe that. But... that are not the decisions I would normally make, probably. I'm going to take 1 damage here. All of our lightning, well, actually, much of our lightning hit the front unit, which is what we were looking for. I think this is... yeah, give me a Glacier. And then a Biased. And then a Fission. And I'm hopeful for some valuable draw here. I don't know if we got there. Definitely want to play Capacitor. We got it, thankfully. 9 damage, huh? I think we Capacitor Ball Lightning Leap, and that's fine. And we're set. This is a good fight. Dude, I don't know. I actually feel like we're okay. This run's got great focus, and it's got good sustenance in it. I actually think an upgraded White Noise is great. It's a 0-cost power. We're getting more max HP. Sometimes we should go for the other option, but... Mama didn't raise a coward, okay? What does that mean? I don't know. It gets the people going. We'll play Buffer instead of Bias, but it's close. Because this guy never attacks more than once per turn, my thinking is basically that we're going to get good value out of the buffers, especially if we can block, like, on this turn, for example. So I actually think, like... no, we'll do it like this. Get a Fission out there. We want to get to 18 block if possible. 19 block. Glacier takes us to 18. So I'm going to play a bunch of cards that, you know, basically the whole point of playing those cards was just to get some value out of them on this turn. Okay, Hello World obviously is not amazing. We're already at 17 block. We needed to be at 19 because of the burn, but, you know, oh well. We're not quite there. We can't use auto shields. Well, that didn't work out too well. We actually gained strength. Oh my god. I think we'll dual cast, and that takes us to 21. That's going to leave us safe. Again, this is less of like getting the focus cranked as soon as possible, and more just like stalling as long as possible. Because the longer we stall, you know, the longer it takes for Buffer to actually get lost, and then we basically win just by virtue of that. He's dead. Good fight. Very good fight. I don't think we need another loop. I think we're fairly content where we stand. This is a bummer. This fight sucks. And they're just attacking for 1,000 right out the gate. Defrag's very helpful. Thank God for boot sequence. Honestly, this is the right turn for this. $34, and they're doing 38. Dude, honestly, if we can put up that much resistance on turn 1, I think we're pretty happy. Now, was it perfect draw? Yeah. It's like extremely perfect draw. 4 energy, huh? Dude, I think you... it's tough. Consume Glacier was my first choice. But I think you actually maybe just Glacier Bias Cognition. And I guess we'd loop for a little extra block. Once we get Bias Cognition out there, it's kind of... I don't want to say it's over. But we start putting the enemy on a clock that's hard for them to get around. So, I mean, usually we go like buffer self-repair. Just to make sure that we have self-repair out there and we can heal up. But we need to start getting some lightning out. Preferably alongside some consumes as well. Well. 40 damage. We're actually over 40 block right now. Yeah, we're at 58 plus the buffers. We're losing focus turn over turn, so we need capacitor consume. I mean, capacitor is the easy one. Still doing fine, but we need more lightning. I would add a blizzard to this deck. I think we've got enough focus that adding a blizzard would be totally fine. This is getting a little wonky. We just need 1 to die. So we are going to lose a buffer here. Please tell me we can kill one of you on this turn. Somebody? Anybody going down? I mean, we're not taking damage, so that's cool. And if we're not taking damage, I'm throwing a consume out there. Oh, Stone Calendar. Thank you. Reinforced Body is great block value, dude. I'm actually going to grab it. Because some of those turns where we're against the Timekeeper and we only get like 2 cards, I think we'll be happy to have this. Straight up, we're about to fight this Elite. I'm actually just going to basically do nothing. I'm just going to pop an Omamori to get it done. So what do we want turn 1? Well, first, anything that pays for itself is going to get out there. I think we're going to boot sequence, reboot. This is basically what we needed. Bias Cognition in conjunction. We're going to shoot for the moon here. We got strength out of it anyway. Let's go. We got 1, which is what we needed. Now because Bias Cognition is out here, we want as much frost as possible. So the way to do that, I think, is like so. Cold Snap does 7 damage, so it does take you out. Leap is close. Or sorry, loop is close, I mean to say. I hate that it's Hello World, but so be it. 18 extra damage. Well, cool-headed. I think you play cool-headed first. We don't need to play self-repair. I just got to run the numbers now, because this is 40 block. We're taking 41 damage. As far as I'm concerned, that's fine. This, a little less so. Honestly, like a buffer. Like buffer capacitor. We're still losing a focus per turn, so those consumes have got to get out there. Because we're on, like, close to default again. But, like, our deck is not that thick. So those consumes have got to come fast and furious, if possible. And they're still not here. I can't help but notice. It's okay, we have 10 block. We got to draw him, dude. Ah! I beg you. This fight will never end. Okay, there's Consume. We need it. We're also going to take a Focus Potion. Zap. Recursion. Oh my god. Ball of lightning. Cold snap. Oh, thank you, Stone Calendar. Okay, we got to use everything we got here, but still. Do we consume again? Honestly, I think you could probably do worse. 32 damage. I would like to evoke, or I'd like to create one more orb, please. Is that... It's not possible, huh? It's okay. It's okay. We're taking 8 damage. That's totally in line with where we want to be with self-repair here. Okay, we got him. Next turn. And we're going to be at full HP. This was touchy, though. No doubt about it. Just a, you know, case to be made. We probably used bias cognition a little too early. Frozen egg? It's a little late, but... What about like a hologram... Hologram zap, hologram consume. I'm kind of the position right now where if it ain't broke, don't fix it. What if we're not fixing it though? What if we're just applying something that would improve it greatly? You know, that's a valid question. I hadn't really thought about it like that. I think we're gonna buffer biased. And we gotta get a lot of lightning out there. Buffer blocks 18 damage, which is really strong. Alright, now we're not as concerned with our focus, because that consume going out there is going to help out a great deal. I can't imagine this is less than 26, so good stuff. We need more lightning out there still. Capacitor would be a nice play. Thank God we got it. Capacitor comes out there. Cool-headed's big. Dude, honestly, I think we could fission. What are we drawing? Another recursion? I guess we would rather recursion for guaranteed block first. Then fission. 40 block is fine. We definitely need to restock our orbs, but we still got the buffer out there. Cool-headed's still good. Cool-headed's still good. Ay, ay, ay. That's, it's not looking great. Let's see. Can we preserve the buffer? Do we want to preserve the buffer? This is 18. 27. You're doing 35. I'm gonna get a little dicey. I think we're just... It is gonna use buffer, but I'm very happy to have extra lightning out there when we got the chance. 18. So it is actually 28. And we have, oh, way more than 28 right now. Still way more than 28. I was thinking about that dual cast, but... You know, I'm taking advantage of the lightning while we got it. Temporarily. We don't know what we're going to draw. It could be anything. Thank you, Stone Calendar, which has saved my life more times than I'd like to admit. Power Potion is very huge. And, dude, starting with extra focus. Yo... Now, I wouldn't say that we're safe, but we made it through that part of the deck, and we're feeling good. Loop is a big get. Recursion being free. It makes it a little bit more playable. We're playing Loop all the time. Recursion's been touchier. We're going to take the combat-driven path, because in theory it lets us upgrade more cards. And I really believe in this one. You are doing 22, you're doing 34 damage, so it's a good time for this, I think. 15... 27 plus another 6, 33, and you're doing 35 actually, my bad. So that saves us without using our other potion, which I'd prefer not to. We just stall until we get the opportunity to get more focus out there. Well, let's see. 36 damage, and we have another 12 on top of, so we have 18. Really, we can play one more energy, I think, and be fine. And then play Reinforced Body. Possibly could have played Loop instead of the Lightning. Would we have preferred to? I don't know. It's actually legitimately kind of a tough call. I like this a lot. We're going to start there. Then we're going to Fission. And I still like where we're at. Capacitor's big. Also big. Do we want to play Self-Repair? I don't know. We could afford to play it later is the thing. We know we're going to draw Bias next turn, so I think maybe put some Frost Orbs out there. And the whole point of not using Reboot there was you know you're going to play Biased. And probably Consume. Is that going to give us enough? Is that going to give us 27 block? We'll go 5 Focus Up. These will be 8 each. We're actually going to go 8 Focus Up. These will be 11 each. Oh, we're going to have way more than enough. But we need more lightning ASAP. Dude, the fact that we're doing this with 3 energy and no electrodynamics, I feel like I'm on cloud 9 right now. This feels like a run that should not be doable with the situation we have. Like, the fact that we're able to get a good focus build going when a lot of our great cards cost 2 energy, we have no fusion, we got nothing of that, you know, variety. That feels awesome. And we, at least for the time being, we have very little to worry about from an HP standpoint. I mean, look at this. We accidentally, with 3 energy, we put up 98 block. Now, it's going to diminish every turn. And admittedly, this turn... Oh, dude, Stone Calendar! It's a dream come true. Normally, we don't want to do combat here. We're making an exception. This is like our dream first turn. We might take a small bit of damage, but... Yeah, we take 10 damage. Sound familiar? Sounds good to me. It's what we heal. Buffer, I'd rather not. Just because we're 8 focus up. We can get to 20 block with a Glacier. But if we play this, we actually get to more than 20 block. The only thing is we lose the extra orbs in the process, but I think it's probably worth it. Just to make sure we're on full HP going into the boss fight, probably. This guy has got to go. Keep that in mind. Well, he's not going to hurt us. This is 27 damage, so don't even attack him. Alright, Lightning wrecks these guys. We need to put out the block first, but then Lightning wrecks them. I'm willing to admit, you know, I'm not getting very much value out of these this reboot right now. I mean, you're not gonna hit me, so this sounds good to me. Lightning will slowly chunk you. We just play consumes when they show up, and we got nothing to worry about. All right, so now we got double lightning effect. Seems good to me. Electrodynamics is unbelievably strong. Unfortunately, I made a mistake, and we can't play it. Oh, wait, now we can. Alright, so they're all dead. Thank God for fission there. Yes, all dead. Ah, Stone Calendar. This time we don't need Electro anymore. Recursion's tough. I think we're gonna like it. And we should get 2 upgrades here. And because Recursion was upgraded, we felt compelled. So give me Cool Headed first, and then we'll probably try to hit that other loop next. And this is, I think, well, we'll see how it looks after this, but bar none, like, I think this is the strongest deck we've had on Ascension 16 as the defect, at least that I can remember. It's got me feeling pretty good. So we're going to do some super evokes here that are also going to give us Glacier plays, and you're doing 30 damage. We got nothing to worry about on 30 damage because we got 32 block, but I think we still will consume. And the consume will take us to 11, 33. Yeah, I stand by this, but I'll admit, it's a little touchier. But the idea is a capacitor's coming around as soon as this turn, maybe. You know, this is irrelevant. I actually think we'll reboot right away. Didn't get the capacitor, unfortunately. But we got both of our buffers out there. We really want to get capacitor. Consume is not the right play now. Defrag is lovely, thank you. Really need capacitor is the thing. Still don't have it, huh? It's not like we're at risk of taking damage anytime soon, but we need that capacitor so we can play the consumes and keep things going. There's capacitor. Thank God. Alright, so you're in a lot of trouble now. Took us a minute to set it up. That's okay. We definitely want to play the other consume. And then we can get a frost orb to the front. We're going to take damage, though. Oh, because of buffer, we won't. Thank you, Stone Calendar. But we should have. That was a miscalculation. Alright. Well, nobody's perfect. All we gotta do, and this is very important, all we gotta do is make it through this fight. And then we've got an Ascension high double-digit victory. Obviously, pop your power potion. I think you probably just go straight for defrag because it's free, and it's just one focus. So it doesn't contain any potential negatives there, which is nice. I think you can get away with a... Oh, you can't consume Glacier. I think we'll boot sequence. I'm gonna Glacier Loop. We end up taking no damage. We got plenty of cards to work with next turn. Loop being out there is very advantageous. I'm gonna ignore the Bias Cognition for now. We got 6 more cards. Hold on, we need more block. Is basically what it comes down to. Recursion, it is more block. It's not the ideal way to get there. I'd rather give myself 3 cards next turn. We're still doing fine. This is a very bad turn to want to play 3 cards. You know what? 16, 23. We're taking 1 damage. I'll give myself 2 cards next turn. And this is what you wait for, basically. What do you play on 2 cards? It's tempting to go for that focus, but I think the longer we wait on that, the happier we are. I also think the longer we wait on the buffer, the happier we are. That's really the ideal turn for Reinforced Body. Alright, Heat Sinks is not great. Even though I think we've had a pretty impotent series of draws, we're doing well. We're chunking him down. He's not really chunking us down. So I think this is a fission play for sure. This is where we want to set up our high focus. So Capacitor is very important so that we can get to Consume. Self-Repair gives us draw, but let's get cool-headed. It's better draw. 3 more cards? Oh, we can do that. Okay. We're not at the level of focus I'd like to be at yet. We're starting to get there, though. This is a turn where you want buffer. And again, we're kind of paying the price for, like... for not having more energy. We could possibly draw buffer by playing a Bias Cognition. You're gonna think I've lost my mind. I think it's time to wait. And then a Recursion getting this orb to the front is very useful. It's fine, we'll draw buffer next turn. Stone Calendar came through in the clutch. We take 26 damage. It's a lot. But now we can stall. We get the buffer out there, and we've gained some focus. It's very important. I think we're going to stall there. We got 6 energy to work with. And we can start playing our Bias now, as far as I'm concerned. And we got it right away. So Bias is huge. Let's cool-headed. If we can avoid using a buffer this turn, that'd be nice. And we're definitely going to get there. We'd like to play 3 more cards. That's easy. Okay, so we're going to start doing some serious damage. He's going to go for the HP up next turn. So this might be a good turn for us to play nothing. Maybe you want to consume, just to make sure we're staying ahead of our game here. I actually think that's fairly sensible. We got 11 cards to work with and 2 buffers next turn. Kind of hoping to get a lightning around, but that's okay. We win by using lightning. As you can see, we don't have too many turns where we play more than 3 attacks. So we win by getting lightnings out there. So that's a help. That's a help. Recursion, putting a lightning orb at the front, also very important. You can Glacier here and be fine. We're not taking any damage. I think you just stall. Dude, we're going to win. You want more lightning. Pretty simple turn. I actually think you recursion. No, you ball lightning, recursion, zap, glacier. Oh, we did it slightly wrong. Oh well, we got 86 block. We're going to win, and we're going to get an Ascension victory on 16. And to be honest, it's been a bad day for Isaac. They started as kind of a bad day for Slay the Spire. I'm a very happy man. Now, we still have to get there. So, some lightning orbs would be nice, is what I'm getting at. Okay. How much damage are you doing? 72? That's cute. This feels great. And it's also a vindication, if I might add, of the fact that I've run so many focus builds in a row. He's dead. It turns out it works. So this feels awesome. And we have Ascension level 17 unlocked. And I'm feeling good. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya!